uploading information onto the internet, flying over at the same time. That's P.O.C. This is group stalking while they're engaged in federal stalking online in contact with the people of the state. Right here, as I'm walking out, a third party is walking along this side. They're crossing path. They're in my path. They're walking out of sight of vision while I'm capturing them on video. Everybody is already, let me be clear. Everyone is already surrounded by evidence. I don't need to capture them anymore. What the entity is doing, I'm showing the ongoing the ongoing continuation. I want to make up a word. The ongoing continuation, which is why Chief of Police, like I said, he is removed permanently from his position, why the LAPD is being disbanded. This is why everyone is going to federal prison. Everyone is already surrounded with a body of evidence. You have strangers coming onto the ground, acting with the same corrupt government, acting pursuant to the same pattern, which is speaking to real-time knowledge of what's going on the internet. This is surveillance occurring in relevant position, surveillance occurring on the internet. They're flying over while they are monitoring what I'm uploading onto the internet, okay? While I'm uploading it onto the drive, they're engaged in the elements of monitoring, which is exactly what's happening while I'm on this communication device in my office. Okay, real-time knowledge revealed through the pattern of conduct that occurs with simultaneity. It's also the demonic activity where the entity is creating the elements, engaged in the elements of monitoring while I am engaged in any physical movement. These are demons. And they're also engaged in surveillance. You have third parties that don't even live here. They're coming on the ground, the same engineer light moving across surfaces. They're under the same light source that's not the sun, okay? That's nowhere over anybody in Irvine, California, okay? While they want to talk about the police, and they're not talking about it yet, but it is something that's used. It's presented before your face for a reason. Such lawlessness. Oh, and the inaccessible use of resources by corrupt agencies who are engaged in surveillance, and they are preparing for war against American citizens. But it's not going to be presented to you that way. This is war that a demon-possessed entity is engaged in right now, and they've already lost it. Every video that is continuously captured of what is stalking on its face, okay, there's nothing normal about what LAPD is providing 25 to 30 videos of, okay, within 2 to 3 days at a time. This is on its face, very peculiar. And I'm letting you know it's beyond peculiar, it's demonic, and it's criminal, and it's within a very well-documented pattern by other law enforcement agencies who could not possibly have been doing it in the natural environment at that. All right? And there's nothing natural about this engineered light, okay? That's the entire pattern of conduct. I do not need to get Kumli stalking it at the dumpster. I don't even need to get the demons that are stalking, coming and moving their only one job, and they're engaging and using it for the purposes of that same corrupt law enforcement agency, who are sex offenders, knowing when my panties are down. They're going to be removed from the access to helicopters and tanks, okay, and bazookas. Those sex offenders, those criminals are going to be removed from that, okay? They're stalking with an entire community. Okay, and it goes beyond Alvarado Gardens, but I'm going to prosecute everybody that thought that they can live around me and engage in terrorizing me at my job. Oh, you're not just going to get a little, no, there are very large, serious, reverberating consequences for that, and it starts with federal prison. It just starts there, okay? And that includes the men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department who are flying irrelevant position. By the way, that audible activity, as you see them right here, that same audible activity, that same ongoing harassment as an entity while they're nowhere near in the workspace, while they're flying way over there, the same audible activity creation. These are demons that are affiliated with the Los Angeles Police Department. This is what Dominic Choi, this is what his condition is. That's why it's happening with regard to his police department. That's why it's happening in Los Angeles in a specific environment. At no time of the day is the sun over Alvarado Gardens. And I'm going to let you, and I will also let you know that this is occurring within a specific environment. Any and everybody comes onto the grounds to engage in criminal activity. A demon thinking that they can hide behind some job that they're performing, that is a demon that is a foolish one that is exposed not only their demon possession, but their criminal activity. It's public corruption. And it is demonic activity that's occurring through the masses. Okay, and I'm showing it's occurring in a community. This community is a template for what's going on in the state of California. All right, it is currently 10:29 a.m. That's the entity flying directly over. The same amplification, the same audible activity, and then you look back at the video that I'm capturing when you can't see any helicopter in sight until well after, and they're at a great distance, and you're looking at that same level of what is an intolerable nuisance, a nuisance on its face, occurring both when I'm inside of my private space and when I'm in the workplace. And it's serving the same criminal targeting conduct by that corrupt agency that's also monitoring its own documentation for its criminal prosecution and worldwide exposure. I want to be clear, this is the same entity. I want to be clear, this is the entity that's claiming unsolved cases such as the murder of Tupac and Biggie. This is that same corrupt law enforcement agency. I just want to let you know, there is public corruption that's long existed, and there is not genuine ignorance. You're dealing with an entity, you're dealing with spirits that know what's going on, but you're dealing with the spiritual reality wants you to remain ignorant, and even if you're one that claims that you don't believe, you can claim you don't believe all you want, but it's more real than this flesh and blood that you see on this camera. The spiritual is very real, and they want you to remain ignorant to it. This is the same corrupt law enforcement agency claiming to not be aware of who killed Biggie, who killed Tupac. And I'm referencing the younger generations because you'll be aware of it. That'll be something that'll catch your attention. This is a corrupt law enforcement agency, and they're engaged in criminal conduct with the people of the state. I'm providing them what are legal terms. Now, what am I suggesting by bringing that up? I want to let you know that the entity is engaged in what is state surveillance. There are not genuine investigations regarding what happened, who's involved. They're engaged in massive surveillance, and they're acting in concert with the people that are around them, providing so-called testimonies, providing, oh, I was a witness, I saw this, or I didn't see that, and I don't know anything about that. This is the same entity that's group stalking together. And then think about things that remain mysteries. Oh, we don't know who killed Biggie and Tupac. Okay, I just want to put that before you. You're looking at the same entity organizing at UC Irvine. They're organizing at UC Irvine. It's the specific environment. Okay. Pay attention to the pictures in the video. You will see the light source because I reviewed the scene online, and you're looking at a light source that's captured on Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, that's not the light source that's hovering over me as a matter of documentation, because if that's the sun, then there's never going to be a sun rising over me in Los Angeles through my living room window. None of that's ever creating the engineered light that's appearing inside of my apartment. And the entity is also keeping it here. It's setting in alignment to me in the evening. There's no provision for there to be any sun over anything at any time at UC Irvine. And this is, again, the asininity of stalking by the demon possessed, who again engaged in a crime so bold, doing it in plain sight. It is as foolish as the evidence that's provided against Teresa Becerra, because this is the exact criminal conduct that she was engaging in. She's a demon. Okay, she's a demon that's sitting up, dressing proper, putting on a suit, and using legal terms, and she's group stalking. It is as pathetic as it is. That's the reality of what she is and what she's doing. It's entirely pathetic. Okay, this is the same criminal system, and this is the entity that's acting in concert, knowing everything that's being uttered on the phone, knowing everything that's occurring on the desktop computer, and everything that's on my cell phone, while demons, strangers, totally disconnected from the property, whether they want to manufacture one or not. You can manufacture a relationship with somebody that lives here, you're still a group stalker. But I'm gonna let you know they're coming here as much of a stranger is an entity coming and deliver a package. They're actually not strangers. They are there's a camaraderie in the spirit, if you will. They're all demon possessed, and they all demonstrate that demon possession as they act pursuant to a very specific pattern of conduct in the specific environment. And you can juxtapose that environment with the light source when you study the scene surrounding them at UC Irvine, for example. This is the same corrupt entity that claims to not know who killed Tupac and Biggie. Just to give you something to think about. It's the P.O.C. It's currently 10:33 a.m.